Greetings, we're back with another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about Mattel acquiring not only the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but the DC license. Now, I haven't really gave my opinions on this particular topic yet because I'm just pretty much just waiting on the rollout of what these figures are going to look like. But I'm kind of skeptical about how the distribution is going to be, right now I just picked up the Fortnite TMNT action figures, and there's some nice action figures, I gotta say. They were a little long in the legs in the beginning when I first saw the production shots, but I was like, well, let me just try them out, let me see what they look like, and I'll make my determination with one or two figures. So I did find Donatello and Ralph first. And I opened up the Ralph, and I like the Ralph. The Ralph articulates pretty good. It's a different spin on Ninja Turtles, but at the same time I respect what NECA did. They spared no expense. They actually really went all out in making these action figures, and they actually look pretty cool. I actually liked them because they were a little bit more taller than their standard short, stocky looking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we usually get. These ones though, with all these different gizmos and designs on them, I wanted to fit them in with my McFarlane DC multiverse. I wanted them, to pretty much make some shots with Robin or Nightwing standing next to these guys. They look like they could pretty much be in the DC universe, which I like that a lot. We did get DC Batman crossover before, and we got I don't even remember what company made those figures, but I do have them. I got that whole line, and they were pretty cool for the designs and everything, and pretty much taking the exact same inspirations from the animated film. But with Mattel taking this many licenses, one thing I do fear is right after January comes, or right around before January, Mattel's going to start laying people off, right? We've seen this before with different toy companies. I know Hasbro is famous for it because they're laying off a whole bunch of people, and it seems like they just want to be a license holder. They don't care about pretty much the community. They're just trying to pump out as much figures as they can, which is why I think Hasbro is having a lot of problems right now. I mean, we did hear that they wanted to be a gaming company at one point, and then they laid off everyone from World of Warcraft or whatever that card game is. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think that Mattel is in a situation next year where if they are going to acquire the DC license and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles license, that means that whatever's out there now, if you like it, you better get it now, because we don't know the avenue that Mattel is going to go down as far as sculpt, design, listening to the fans. We have no idea. Honestly. I'm already kind of suspect about the DC line because I'm seeing their wrestling figures. I'm seeing their basic core, kids' toys from DC that's already in stores now, which I'm not getting because I'm not wasting money on that. And I know people say, well, they're for kids. Yeah, but I don't think kids are buying those, man. Kids are playing Fortnite. They're not buying those kids' lines. If anything, is adults, I think, are buying them, just for collecting purposes. And that's okay. But for me, yeah, I'm staying far away from that DC core kids line because I have no interest in picking none of those up. I know some people do, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'm more into the adult figure collecting line, and that's not to say I'm not going to pick up whatever their collector's line is going to be come next year. But as far as them taking on all these licenses, along with the licenses that they already own, I'm suspicious, man. It's the Masters of the Universe they've had since the beginning of time, since I was a kid, right? But I'm noticing that they have a distribution problem. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of figures that did come out in the Masterverse line from He-Man that I've never seen hit the shelves. And I know a lot of other collectors can vouch for that too. We haven't seen a lot of these Masters of the Universe figures. And that's one of the things that I'm looking at, saying to myself, well, how is the distribution? If they can't get the distribution out for He-Man, then what's the distribution going to look like for DC and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a crime to see what happened with NECA and how they just lost the TMNT. They can't make no more. I think the last line that they're going to be making is the Fortnite ones. And I think they said that Shredder is on the way, but that's it. We can't finish the Ronin, the TMNT Ronin. I really wanted that Shredder from the TMNT Ronin. I picked up all of the TMNT Ronin figures, you know what I'm saying, including some foot soldiers, you know, but it sucks. It sucks how they just lost it, man. And I don't know what type of deal that, you know, that DC offered. I don't know what type of deal the Nickelodeon offered. You know, they probably wanted more money than they was willing to break with. And I don't blame them. You know, I don't blame NECA for walking away like, you know what, yeah, I can keep that line. We're not going to outbid them. Like, you know, that's what they want to do with it. They want to sell it to that company, so be it. And the same goes with McFarlane, you know. McFarlane probably put money up and said, all right, you know, I'll put this money forward. And Mattel came in and said, no, we're going to put this much money forward. And they had the money to do it. But distribution is the main thing that I think, you know, Mattel's going to have a struggle with come next year. You know, I think they're going to roll out that first wave and it's going to look nice and fantastic for collectors. And, you know, people are going to jump on it. You know, I'm going to definitely take a look at it. I'm also interested in seeing what their TMNT looks like. But I don't think no other toy company, not Hiya Toys, not Mondo, is going to make some of the best TMNT like NECA. None. Not even Playmates. And I'm serious. Like, I think NECA really is the TMNT. You know what I'm saying? The N in NECA, the name is for Ninja Turtles. Real talk. And they done a good job with holding down the Ninja Turtle fans for a long time, man. But, you know, it's shaky. It's shaky. You know, I'm looking at this and seeing exactly how the market is doing. You know, like they got a whole reset going on. And I know Walmart had their reset where they got a new collector section. And I know that Target is now doing their reset now. But when I walk in there, I'm seeing all of these Ninja Turtle toys. I'm seeing a bigger DC section, shelf for the shelf. But like I said, it's distribution. All boils down to distribution. You know, can they roll out those toys on time and not have them sit in the back, or can they even get shipped to the stores? Because we all know that distribution right now, as far as them putting out action figures, they don't have like box set waves anymore. Now they got that in like that random box that you see on the red card in Target with just maybe 1 or 2 from the wave, or you probably get like 8 from that wave, 8 of the same character. Like you get 8 Wolverines and nobody else, you know what I'm saying, until the next shipment comes in. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see for collectors. You know, we definitely going to keep a watchful eye, especially for the collectors who collect TMNT and DC. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to I'm really zooming in and focused on Mattel's distribution, because Mattel does not have the great distribution as far as, you know, boys action figures. The girls, they got no problem. Barbies is everywhere. They got that section is packed. So they got no problem with that. But I am concerned about TMNT, and I am concerned about Masters of the Universe, and I'm concerned about DC. I don't know what that's going to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hunts is definitely going to be strained come next year. You know what I mean? Like, man, like I said, they could have probably got a deal. NECA and McFarlane said, hey, this is how much we want you to, you know, pay for this. And they're like, nah, they walked away. Because NECA and McFarlane do not have shareholders. They're their own independent company. And if you're asking for too much money, they're like, you know what, screw that. Nah, the deal that we had before was good. But as far as shipping costs and everything, fuel prices going up, new tooling and everything, nah, it's all right. And I don't blame them. I don't blame NECA and McFarlane for saying, nah, you know, the offer still stands. If you don't want it, then we'll see our way out, you know. But let's see what Mattel brings to the table, because Mattel has a lot of IPs, a lot of licenses right now, and they can find themselves in a situation just like what Hasbro is, where you have a license that's dead, nobody's buying them, like Star Wars or something, and it's just a virus that's eating away at all the dollars that you could be bringing in. Not only that, let's stay for quality. You know, quality as far as plastic. You know what I'm saying? How are these figures going to be looking? How they're going to be posing? You know, I've collected my fair share of Masters of the Universe, and you know, like I said, some of them were good, but a lot of them became loose in like 2 days of moving the shoulder, or there's no waist swivel at all, if any. You know, so I don't know. I'm willing to see. But that's my take on the Mattel, you know, taking over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and DC, 2 big franchises that, You know, really needs to be on the shelf for, you know, for consumers. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Catch you another video in the future. Peace. And tell me what you guys think. You know what I mean? Tell me what you guys think of this acquisition with Mattel taking over DC and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you like what we had? You know, are you hopeful for what's coming? All right, I'll see you in another video. Peace.